Congratulations to Swine Tech on winning the AgTech Award from the Technology Association of Iowa. Matthew Rooda, welcome.
All right, thank you.
So, can you tell us about this award and the meaning behind it?
So the Prometheus Awards is the premier event for Iowa technology companies. So you see everything from a student startup that had started months earlier to categories that involve John Deere, Principal, and much larger groups. And the neat thing about it is the entire Iowa community really comes together to help support this event. And it's an honor to be a finalist in itself, but to win, it shows that you're really doing something spectacular, something that is truly making an impact. When you go through the application process, you're going through the value that you're creating with your product, you're going through the traction, but you're also talking about the jobs you're creating in the state of Iowa or the mentorship that you're providing to other companies in Iowa. So it's a very holistic process to evaluating a company and its overall success in that year. And we've been doing this for quite a while, and we had never won that award before. So it was really exciting for us and our team to win that and to really share that experience even with some of our customers. Even Kevin from Iowa Pork Producers Association was actually the guy that they called to give the awards. That was really cool to see him and share that with him as well.
What were the entry requirements and then other components to finally win?
So some of the entry requirements really are pretty wide open. Like you can be any size ag tech company. And in prior years, John Deere's won the award. We've seen this a wide spread of winners in the category. But when you're filling it out, you're just trying to as best share your story. And when you are, I guess one of the requirements is you got to be nominated. And so we had a few people throughout the swine industry nominate us, and a few well-respected in the swine industry in Iowa nominate us. And I think that really helped us quite a bit as well as we were approaching the application.
So, the Technology Association of Iowa, is this a broad thing for Iowa unrelated to ag, or is it ag only? Or
It's
tell us about the
unrelated to
association.
ag. Yeah, so it's unrelated to ag. It covers biotech. So AgTech, biotech was the category we were in, but they also have small technology company of the year, medium, large, health care focus. And so you would see just a wide range of solutions that are really pretty exciting that are all occurring in the same state.
So, you touched on it earlier, but how does it feel as a winner and what does it mean to you?
So as a winner of this, it meant a lot for me and our team because when we started out with SmartGuard being our flagship product and COVID hit and we were forced to really reconsider how we were going to help producers because of the economic situation, we completely pivoted the way we looked at solving problems. And to come out of that, to now be working with producers in multiple countries and a couple different continents, and to be making a real impact, it was just really cool to be able to share that back with the state. And the reason I say that is because when we started this whole thing in 2015 as students, the state was very supportive of us. A lot of mentorship, a lot of guidance, working with Iowa State, UNI, Drake. And with COVID, it really just you kind of lost touch with a lot of the people throughout the state. And so to come back from that, to be able to share our story, share that change, and also become recognized and awarded for that, it was really cool. It was, you saw us strong before, but we came back stronger despite everything else. And it showed a level of resiliency and ingenuity that we were really proud of.
So, how can you use this platform to encourage other entrepreneurs and B, continue building Swine Tech?
So I'd say that one thing entrepreneurs and individuals that are just starting a business should always do is get connected. Get connected with individuals that have been out there and who have succeeded in the past. And you'd be really surprised how many people would be willing to sit down and grab lunch, especially in our industry. In the swine industry, we still have all of the individuals who built the modern swine industry operating the companies that they built. And that just creates such an opportunity for veterinarian students in school, people who are just starting their careers. So I'd say get connected, take the time to reach out, travel to grab lunch or dinner, because those are experiences, opportunities, that's mentorship and guidance that 5-10 years from now might not be nearly as accessible as it is today. But I'd also say that when we look at younger companies going out there and getting connected, it's important to cheer each other on. I think often you can view things through a lens of scarcity or of surplus. And when other people win, it doesn't mean we're losing, even if we're super competitive. So help each other. I think that's so important that small companies help each other, even if you can't really do anything to financially benefit from one another, help each other.
What's your definition of AgTech?
Oh, AgTech. I'd say AgTech is AgTech and entrepreneurship, or just AgTech?
Just AgTech in general. What's the first thing that comes to mind, or your kind of
I would say,
definition if you were to talk to somebody about it?
yeah, I would say AgTech in general is anything mechanical or electrical or digital that transforms or makes easier a job or a process. It could be an automatic power washer. It could be a self-driving tractor. It could be a software solution that helps streamline workflow and improves communication in farms. It could be computer vision. There's so much that fits into ag tech, and a lot of it can be mechanical, but some of it's very digital and very complicated. And so I think there's a huge spectrum that ag tech lives on. And I think that's what makes it so cool.
So what about your definition of Swine Tech, your company, from where you started, where you pivoted, where are you today? What is Swine Tech?
So Swine Tech is an ag tech company that helps producers maximize their resources to provide the very best care to piglets possible. And so worldwide, we're really focused on quality of care for the pigs, because we believe that the single most opportunity for us to connect socially and economically to the outside world, to the consumer, is through our survivability opportunities. When we look at survivability, every pig we save is not only improvement in welfare, but it's improvement in sustainability, the use of our resources to provide a pound of pork. And it's also an improvement in profitability for the producer. It should be an improvement in profitability. So when we think about profitability, sustainability, welfare, three very important things. Improving the quality of care for pigs can help us accomplish all three. And so we see it as something that can make a huge impact in a wide variety of ways and on a global scale. When we started Swine Tech, our thought process was, how about we create the solution to help solve the largest cause of piglet mortality, being layons. There's over 200 million a year die from that. And so we created that voice recognition technology. We implemented it. It was extremely effective at identifying a layon event, saving that piglet. But one of the challenges we really faced was between day 3 or day 4, when we removed that device, and day 24, when we wean that piglet, there's so many things that can go right or wrong that will keep that pig alive or not. And if we can't understand all of the processes downstream of the process we were controlling, then all of that value we had invested time and energy into could be completely lost or completely out of our control. And our thought when talking to other ag tech companies was they were experiencing the same thing. Their product was solving a problem, but they couldn't have long-term influence over the value that they were creating. They couldn't ensure that the value that they were creating was sustained all the way to the packer. And so we really understood that there was this deficit in our ability to understand our processes and the consistency to those processes, the compliance. Because if we're inconsistent, we will have inconsistent value and unpredictable value creation. But if we can be consistent, we can start to identify those bottlenecks, focus on the areas of greatest opportunity, and understand if we change A, how is it going to affect B, C, or D? And we can start doing cost-benefit analysis. We can make it a lot more predictable. And I think our industry could benefit a lot from a more predictable system. And so we started to build PigFlow as a solution to really drive consistency and compliance to important workflows that are really in driving pig care. And the real fun thing about all this was it was inspired by healthcare, because we use these patient management systems today in healthcare to accomplish the same goal. And we really felt that ag and animal ag really aligns with healthcare more closely than even manufacturing, because we have a living being. Yes, administratively, we're focused about quality of care, or we're focused about throughput. Even hospitals are focused about bed space. Throughput, it's all that matters. But when you're a doctor, a nurse's aide, or you're a sow farm manager or an employee in that farm, when you shower in or when you walk onto that floor, all that matters is the care you're providing. Quality of care is the definition of success. If you have great care, we should be successful. But healthcare has been an industry that's been doing this 20 years ahead of us. They brought technologies in 20 years ago, the sensors, the cameras, all of that. And it didn't necessarily make an impact until they really tied it together to help their people utilize those resources more consistently. And I think when we look at the swine industry, we focused on nutrition, genetics, facilities. We've done a great job in a lot of areas, but when we look at labor and workforce development and management, we're still doing things a lot of the ways we've been doing them 20, 30 years ago. And I think that's going to be the next big change that we're going to have to encounter and push through as an industry if we want to see that next level of sustainable growth in the swine industry.
So let's kind of wrap on doing business in Iowa. So I think it's a progressive yet underrated area to do business on a global level. I know being in Iowa, you know, the progression and all the great things. So do you think that we should focus on continuing to drive ag business in Iowa or grow to expand other sectors?
It's a really good question. It almost feels like one for the development authority for Iowa, but I'd say what makes Iowa great is its location, right? You're central to everything. You have great universities. Ag is big. And so big ag makes sense in Iowa. So it's a great hub for that. And if you're looking at berries and nuts, then California is probably the best place for that. But when we're talking row crops and animal ag, Iowa's a really great spot for that. The challenges you face, right, are, well, how do you get funding in a state that usually doesn't drive a whole lot of action there? But with COVID and with everything changing with digital meetings and virtual, and there's just been so many expectations that have changed. I know venture capitalists that you would have had to meet them in person, but that's changed a lot. And so I think that the current situation that we have today because of COVID has really strengthened or lessened, we'll call it lessened, the risks or issues that come with being a business in Iowa. And it's enhanced all of the other aspects that were already strengths. So I think Iowa should still focus on AgTech. I think that we should be mindful that we don't produce everything in agriculture. And there are a few things we do really well. And let's stick to those. But let's be known for those. And let's figure out how we can learn or collaborate with other industries to win together as opposed to just winning as AgTech. How can we win with insurance? How can we win with healthcare? How can all of it move in the same direction? So that way, when we are looking at funding, people are coming to Iowa because we have the right people, we have the right ecosystem, the right infrastructure, we have the right right customer base. And it's more than just one thing, but I think it's all moving in the right direction for Iowa. I know coming out of COVID, Iowa is one of the most financially well-off states in the U.S. And so there's just a good base to work from and a good work ethic and very livable area. So I think it has a lot going for it. It'd be nice if I could get more direct flights to places, but I think that's my only big issue.
Well, Matthew, congratulations again to you and the entire Swine Tech team on the AgTech Award from the Technology Association of Iowa.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.